So on the Tuesday, we've got the Summer Solstice Indigenous Music Awards. You've got one event to go to, and then you relax for a couple of days, and then come June 10th on the Saturday, you go to the next big event here in Ottawa, and it is such a special one because they really cater to everybody. They have great day programming and evening programming, and here to tell us more about it, I am joined by Rachel Weldon. She is the Executive Director of Debaser. Welcome back in person this time, Rachel. Great to have you here. And we'll talk about that event at Arts Court. It's a great open house, as I said, something for everybody. But let's talk about Debaser and what you do, a little bit of history behind it.
Yeah, so Debaser is an organization that presents independent and underground music primarily, but we also present arts of all different disciplines. We're an organization that just turned 10 years old this year, so Saturday,
excellent.
June 10th is our birthday party.
Very nice.
Coupled with a bunch of other things, exciting things that are happening.
Yeah, tell me about that underground scene. And I think it's really important to have a group, an organization, I should say, like yourself, to make sure that we promote that underground scene. What kind of growth have you seen over the last 10 years in that scene?
A lot. I mean, I think everyone is still very much doing it for themselves, and maybe we don't see them, at the Grammys yet, but the Ottawa music and art scene has really been coming into its own in the last few years. It's exciting to see artists starting to export out of the city, and whereas previously a lot of artists would have left town to go to Toronto or Montreal to make a career, I think they're sticking around more and more. It's really nice.
Do you even consider it underground anymore because you know so many of these artists and you know how talented they are?
That's where I dwell, so for me that's home.
Okay, I like it. I like it. You're teaming up with some great partners. Tell us a little bit about this open house and the idea behind it.
Yeah, well, the Arts Court, people might recognize that name or the building. It's right downtown Ottawa at Daly and Nicholas Avenue. It's a heritage building. It's the former Ottawa courthouse, and it's right next to the former jailhouse. So it's a really signature building in the landscape of downtown Ottawa and a beautiful place. And some 30 odd years ago, it was taken over by the city of Ottawa, and a lot of arts organizations moved in and started transforming the space into space that artists can use to experiment, to present their work, to create new work, and just to gather and to work together. So I think a lot of the public gets to see that building when they come for a concert or come for like a fringe theater production.
Right.
But there's probably lots of parts of the building that they haven't gotten to see. So the Arts Court open house party is an opportunity to bust the doors open, animate every corner of the building with art and music and hands-on activities, so everybody can just wander around and take in some of our city's best culture.
Debaser, are you out of that building
Yes.
as well?
Yeah, we're one of 4 new organizations that just moved in early this year, so it's also an opportunity to welcome
that
new
must
tenants.
be such a dynamic group of people. I mean, do you all sort of network together on a consistent basis?
Absolutely.
I want to walk through those doors.
You should.
It just when you explain. And is it all arts-based?
Yes.
Organizations that are through it?
That's the mandate of the building. So, and it's also it's subsidized by the city. So arts nonprofit organizations like ours, which are under-resourced, but mighty organizations, have an opportunity to have an office downtown Ottawa. It's an amazing asset.
All right, well, let's talk about this open house. As I said, day programming, evening into night programming. Let's talk about the day programming and what you have.
It's a 12-hour event, so there's so much going on. It starts at 2 p.m. and the first thing you might see when you approach the building is the Daly Avenue will be shut down. There'll be an art market happening from 2 to 9 p.m. So local artisans, about 30 tables of local artisans and makers selling their handmade items, as well as food vendors, so you can get a bite to eat, have a little picnic. In the building, there'll be hands-on participatory workshops and activities like button making that Saw Gallery is offering. There's a DJ VJ workshop Asanapka and Possible Worlds are offering. Screenings happening, performances, a panel discussion. The galleries will all be open with their contemporary art programming, so there's lots to see.
Is it fair to say then that daytime programming is open to families? I mean, that's that's the idea behind it, right?
Yep.
Is to open it up and so that young and old can come and visit.
Exactly. The entire day is all ages. There's no age limit, but yes.
So as we transfer over then into evening programming, what does that look like?
Well, so it's, like I said, it's our organization's 10-year anniversary party, and it's also Saw Gallery's 50th anniversary party. So we're throwing a big birthday party together, our 2 organizations. And we've put together, a lot of amazing programming, but one highlight is, I was great to hear Sarain Fox talk about the level of Indigenous talent across Turtle Island, because we actually have some amazing Indigenous artists coming to peak to the festival, including Lito Pimienta, Pimienta, a Colombian, Canadian Afro-Indigenous artist. Bear Witness, whose group The Hallucination is actually performing tomorrow night at the Bronson Center. And so he's sticking around and DJing for us next Saturday. And then we have a string quartet, Quatuor Bazzini, coming from Montreal, who will be performing an exclusive program of Indigenous compositions. So including 2022 Pulitzer Prize winning composer Raven Chacon, Lido Pimienta, who's also performing her original music, Chris Dirksen, Tanya Tagak. So it will be a really special program.
Yeah, and it's animated everywhere you go. When we say animated, what do we mean by that exactly? You
walk around the building and you might hear a concert happening in this room, or see an art exhibition in that room, or see a screening happening in that room. So the idea, the way the event is set up, is that you can really just wander around. And actually the building has a bit of a confusing layout, so it's best if you do wander and
it's a
get
bit of
lost.
A maze. Yeah, I've been in the building. Saw a video celebrating 50. I'm just, hearing that number, what a great accomplishment for them. For people that aren't, familiar with SAW, can you just share a little bit about them?
Yeah, SAW is a contemporary art gallery and production center. They also operate Club SAW, which maybe music fans would be familiar with because it's a very active venue downtown Ottawa. For 50 years, they've been dedicated to supporting politically and socially engaged art in Ottawa, with a focus on video art and also working for their entire history with Indigenous artists. So having Indigenous artists so prominently featured in the program is very special.
And I said SAW video, but it's just SAW now. I mean, that just shows you how old I am. I remember when they first began, it was SAW video, but they are just SAW. People get tickets ahead of time. Where's the
you
best
can come
place?
to the door, but so the afternoon is free, 2 to 5 p.m. Then at 5 o'clock we do start ticketing, but it's a pay what you can event. So if you want to just come at the door, you can pay what you can. But tickets are also available online, eventbrite.ca, or you can find thisispeak.com or the Arts Court website. Lots of places.
Excellent. Appreciate you joining us again, Rachel.
Thanks
so much, and congratulations on your 10-year anniversary. Again, a reminder: evening and night programming all begins at 2 p.m. goes right throughout as late as you want. No, I'm kidding. I think 2 a.m. is the cutoff. Saturday, June the 10th. We'll be back with more daytime right after this.